Hello, welcome back. Jonathan here with Perception. We are in the middle of doing a long e-course called A Year of Fundraising, where we're delivering 365 fundraising ideas to you over the course of a year, shooting 2 videos a month on all sorts of different topics and ideas. And so right now we're in the middle of a series of ideas called Finding a Person of Peace. And so our first lesson on this was on finding a person of peace in your family. And so now we're going to go into finding a person of peace in different generations. And so I wanted to look at that same passage again, but we're actually going to look at it in the book of Luke today. And so I'm going to read that to you here. It says, this is in Luke 10. It says, when you enter a house, first say peace to this house. If someone who promotes peace is there, your peace will rest on them. If not, it will return to you. Stay there eating and drinking whatever they give you, for the worker deserves his wages. Do not move around from house to house. When you enter a town and you are welcomed, eat what is offered to you. So, a person of peace is someone that is prepared by God. They are a social bridge into a community, and we have to learn to be able to recognize people of peace. We want to be able to recognize people who want to be involved in our mission, and if they don't want to, we need to be able to let them go. That's what this passage is talking about. Do not move around from house to house. When you enter a town and you are welcomed, eat what is offered to you. But at the same time, it says, if someone who promotes peace is there, your peace will rest on them. If not, it will be returned to you. If they don't want to be involved, if they aren't a person of peace, you're going to know it. Don't be distracted by that. Don't be discouraged. Just be prepared to move on. Keep that confidence level up. I think before you move on into these ideas, looking at different suggestions for how to work with different generations, it's important to remember that regardless of generations, people want to be heard and listened to. So practicing active listening, not interrupting, showing genuine interest in their interests, and asking questions can all be super helpful. I think just a few helpful tips I want to share about older generations. Move my notes here. Older generations are used to face to face. They've sat across from people, across desks in conference rooms, at lunch having coffee for generations, and they're used to that face to face meeting. And so I'd encourage you, if you can't make those face to face times happen, to even just shoot a short video. It doesn't have to be a long formal video, but just taking 45, 60 seconds and just saying hi, reminding them about the work that you're doing, and maybe sharing a quick story. And that can be attached in an email or in text. Also, with older generations, we need to provide clear instructions when using digital tools. So if you're trying to get somebody to register for a banquet or a golf tournament or even just your newsletter, I encourage you to use screen recording tools. There's one called Loom. There's another one called Ecamm, which I actually use to make these videos. Or even just do screenshots and type out some instructions under each screenshot of what you're asking them to do. That can be really helpful in getting them to participate in what you're trying to do. Lastly, don't use casual language. Casual language with older generations can seem really non-committal and unprofessional. Next, with younger generations, use digital communication channels, but you have to use it well. You have to be regular at it. You have to be consistent. You also need to be authentic, but don't use formal or corporate language. In order to do that best, sharing stories and experiences with them can help them feel included. Lastly, after taking this lesson, I'd encourage you to look at our Cultivating Relationships e-course. The Cultivating Relationships e-course really helps you to get organized in terms of cleaning up your donor lists, but it helps you to figure out where you're at with different donors in terms of, should you ask them to give financially? Should you invest more time in them relationally first? And at the same time, we have to remember that donors aren't dollar signs. We're not doing this to be manipulative. We want people to be a part of our ministry because we believe in it. But at the same time, other people out there in the world, they want to be a part of something bigger than themselves. And so that's where sharing about your work can go a long ways and getting people to be involved greater than just financially. I think that's it. See you guys soon.